Aristotle, born in ancient Greece, was a towering figure in philosophy. He explored a wide range of subjects. His ideas influenced Western thought for centuries. Aristotle was a student of Plato. However, he developed his own distinct philosophical system. Aristotle's philosophy emphasizes reason, observation, and the pursuit of knowledge. He believed in an objective reality that can be understood through empirical investigation. Aristotle's work covered logic, metaphysics, ethics, politics, and more. He made significant contributions to each field. His ideas continue to be studied and debated today. Aristotle's emphasis on reason and observation laid the groundwork for the scientific method. His work remains relevant in the 21st century. Ayn Rand was a 20th century philosopher and novelist. She developed a philosophical system called Objectivism. Objectivism emphasizes reason, individualism, and laissez-faire capitalism. Rand's philosophy celebrates human achievement and the pursuit of rational self-interest. Her ideas have resonated with many, sparking debate and discussion. Rand's most famous works include The Fountainhead and Atlas Shrugged, novels that dramatize her philosophical ideas. She argued that reason is the only means of knowledge and that individuals have a right to their own lives and happiness. Rand rejected collectivism and altruism. She believed they stifle individual potential. Despite the vast temporal distance between them, Aristotle and Ayn Rand shared a common philosophical thread. Both championed reason as the ultimate tool for understanding the world. They both emphasized the importance of an objective reality. This shared emphasis on reason and objective reality forms the bedrock for their respective philosophical systems. While Rand developed her own unique philosophical perspective, she drew heavily from Aristotle's ideas. She considered him a major influence on her thinking. This essay delves into the fascinating intersection of Aristotelian philosophy and objectivism. We will explore how Aristotle's ideas shaped Rand's worldview. We will examine the similarities and differences between these two influential thinkers. Aristotle believed in an objective reality. This reality exists independently of human perception. It is the bedrock upon which all knowledge is built. This concept forms a cornerstone of Aristotle's metaphysics, the branch of philosophy that deals with the nature of reality. For Aristotle, the world is knowable. We can understand it through observation and reason. This objective reality is not a realm of shadows or illusions. It is the concrete, tangible world around us. This view diverged significantly from his teacher, Plato's theory of forms. Plato believed that the physical world was merely a shadow of a higher realm of perfect, unchanging forms. Aristotle rejected this notion. He argued that reality is what we can observe and interact with. Aristotle's rejection of Plato's forms was a pivotal moment in the history of philosophy. It shifted the focus from abstract ideals to the concrete world. This emphasis on the observable world had a profound influence on the development of science and Western thought, grounding philosophy in empirical observation. Aristotle argued that the forms, as conceived by Plato, were unnecessary and ultimately unhelpful in understanding reality. He believed that the essence of an object, its defining characteristics, were not separate from the object itself. Instead, they were inherent in the object, and we could discern them through careful observation. One of Aristotle's most enduring contributions to philosophy is the law of identity. This principle, often expressed as A is A, states that everything that exists has a specific nature. This law might seem self-evident, but it has profound implications for understanding reality and knowledge. It asserts that something cannot be both itself and something else at the same time and in the same respect. Ayn Rand, though separated by centuries, resonated deeply with Aristotle's law of identity. She recognized its fundamental importance in understanding the world and adopted it as a cornerstone of her own philosophical system, Objectivism. For Rand, the law of identity was not merely a logical principle. It was a fundamental truth about the nature of reality. Aristotle believed that knowledge begins with sensory perception. We experience the world through our senses. We see, hear, touch, taste, and smell. This sensory data provides the raw material for knowledge. It is the starting point for understanding the world around us. This emphasis on sensory experience grounded Aristotle's philosophy in the realm of the observable. However, Aristotle did not believe that sensory perception alone was sufficient for knowledge. It was merely the first step. He argued that our senses provide us with information about particular things, but they do not reveal universal truths. For that, we need reason. Reason allows us to move beyond the particular to the general. For Aristotle, reason was the faculty that allowed us to organize and make sense of the sensory data we receive. Through reason, we identify patterns, make connections, and draw conclusions. Reason is the process by which we move from perception to knowledge. It is the tool that allows us to understand the world around us. Aristotle developed a system of logic that provided a framework for reasoning. His syllogisms, a type of deductive argument, offered a structured way to analyze information and draw valid conclusions. This emphasis on logic and reason had a profound influence on the development of Western thought. It provided a foundation for scientific inquiry and philosophical discourse. Ayn Rand, like Aristotle, considered reason to be the paramount faculty of human cognition. She believed that reason is our only means of acquiring knowledge. It is our only guide to action. For Rand, reason was not merely a tool for understanding the world. It was a moral imperative. Rand argued that reason is the faculty that distinguishes humans from animals. It is what allows us to live fulfilling and productive lives. She rejected any form of mysticism, faith, or emotionalism as a basis for knowledge or action. For Rand, reason was the only path to truth, freedom, and happiness. She believed that a life lived in accordance with reason was a life worth living. Both Aristotle and Rand recognized the importance of concepts in the process of knowledge acquisition. Concepts are mental abstractions that allow us to group similar things together. They are the building blocks of thought. Without concepts, our minds would be overwhelmed by the sheer diversity and complexity of the world. Aristotle believed that concepts are formed through a process of abstraction. We observe particular things in the world. We identify the common characteristics that they share. We abstract these common characteristics to form a concept. For example, we observe many different types of trees. We abstract the common characteristics of trunk, branches, and leaves to form the concept of a tree. One of the central questions that has occupied philosophers throughout history is, what constitutes a good life? Both Aristotle and Ayn Rand grappled with this question, arriving at distinct yet interconnected answers. For Aristotle, the good life, or Eudaimonia, was not simply a matter of pleasure or happiness. It was a state of flourishing, of living up to one's full potential as a human being. This flourishing, for Aristotle, was inextricably linked to our rational nature. He believed that humans are rational animals, set apart from other living things by our capacity for reason. Therefore, the good life must involve the exercise of our rational faculties. To live well, for Aristotle, meant to live in accordance with reason. For Aristotle, living in accordance with reason meant cultivating virtues. Virtues are character traits that enable us to live well. They are dispositions to act in certain ways, to make choices that are conducive to eudaimonia. Aristotle identified a range of virtues, including courage, justice, temperance, and wisdom. He believed that each virtue represented a balance between two extremes. For example, courage is the virtue that lies between the extremes of cowardice and recklessness. The courageous person is not ruled by fear, nor are they rash or impulsive. They are able to face danger when it is necessary, doing so with a clear head and a steady hand. For Aristotle, cultivating virtues was an ongoing process, requiring practice, discipline, and a commitment to living a life guided by reason. Ayn Rand, in contrast to Aristotle's focus on virtue, placed a greater emphasis on the pursuit of self-interest. She argued that the ultimate goal of human life is to achieve one's own happiness. She referred to her ethical system as rational egoism. Rand believed that selfishness, properly understood, was not a vice, it was a virtue. For Rand, rational self-interest meant pursuing one's own happiness, living in accordance with one's own values and judgments. It did not mean sacrificing oneself for others, nor did it mean exploiting others for one's own gain. Rand argued that true egoism was compatible with living a moral life. She believed that the pursuit of one's own happiness, when guided by reason, would lead to actions that were beneficial to oneself and to others. Despite their differing views on the specific content of the good life, Aristotle and Rand shared a fundamental conviction that reason was the key to living well. For Aristotle, reason was the faculty that enabled us to understand the world around us. It allowed us to cultivate virtues and to live in accordance with our nature as rational animals. For Rand, reason was the tool that allowed us to identify our own values and to pursue them. This shared emphasis on reason is a testament to the enduring influence of Aristotle on Western thought. Even philosophers who disagree with his specific conclusions recognize the power and importance of his emphasis on reason as the defining characteristic of human beings. Rand, though she developed her own unique philosophical system, clearly recognized the debt she owed to Aristotle. She saw in his work a kindred spirit, a mind that valued reason above all else. And it is this shared commitment to reason that continues to make both Aristotle and Rand relevant and thought-provoking figures today. Aristotle recognized the importance of the polis, the city-state, as the fundamental unit of political organization. He believed that humans are political animals by nature. We are naturally drawn to live in communities. The polis, for Aristotle, was not simply a collection of individuals. It was an organic whole, a partnership in which citizens worked together for the common good. This emphasis on the common good was central to Aristotle's political philosophy. He believed that the purpose of government was to promote the well-being of all citizens, not just a select few. He argued that a just government would strive to create a society in which all citizens could flourish, developing their virtues and contributing to the community. Ayn Rand, writing centuries later in a vastly different historical context, had a very different view of the role of government. She argued that the primary purpose of government was not to promote the common good, but to protect individual rights. She believed that individual rights were not granted by the government, but were inherent in our nature as human beings. Rand believed that individuals have an inalienable right to their own lives, their liberty, and their property. She argued that these rights are essential for human flourishing. They allow individuals to pursue their own happiness without interference from others, including the government. Ayn Rand's emphasis on individual rights led her to advocate for laissez-faire capitalism, a system in which the government plays a minimal role in the economy. She believed that capitalism, with its emphasis on individual initiative, free markets, and limited government, was the only system that could protect individual rights and promote genuine prosperity. For Rand, capitalism was not simply an economic system. It was a moral system. It was the only system that recognized the inherent value and autonomy of the individual. She argued that capitalism, by allowing individuals to pursue their own self-interest, unleashed creativity, innovation, and progress. In Section 4, titled A Philosophical Divide, Collectivism versus Individualism, we see the stark contrast between Aristotle's emphasis on the common good and Rand's focus on individual rights. This highlights a fundamental philosophical divide. Aristotle, with his roots in ancient Greek thought, saw the community as paramount. The individual, for Aristotle, found their fullest expression within the context of the polis. Rand, influenced by Enlightenment individualism, saw the individual as primary. The community for Rand was merely a collection of individuals, each pursuing their own goals and aspirations. This fundamental difference in perspective shapes their respective views on the role of government, the nature of rights, and the relationship between the individual and society. Aristotle, in his seminal work, explored the nature of art, particularly focusing on tragedy. He introduced the concept of, often translated as imitation or representation. Aristotle argued that art, at its core, imitates life. It reflects the world around us, presenting us with characters, stories, and emotions that resonate with our own experiences. However, for Aristotle, this imitation was not merely a superficial copying of reality. He believed that art had the power to reveal universal truths through its particular representations. By depicting specific characters and events, art could illuminate deeper aspects of the human condition, exploring themes of love, loss, betrayal, and triumph that transcend time and place. For Aristotle, art was a powerful tool for understanding ourselves and the world in which we live. Aristotle also believed that art, particularly tragedy, served a crucial psychological and emotional function: catharsis. He argued that by evoking strong emotions in the audience, fear, pity, and ultimately, a sense of release, tragedy could purge these emotions, leading to a sense of emotional purification and renewal. This cathartic experience, for Aristotle, was not merely a pleasant byproduct of art. He saw it as an essential part of its purpose. Through catharsis, art could help individuals achieve a state of emotional balance and equilibrium, promoting both individual well-being and social harmony. This concept of catharsis highlights the profound impact that art can have on our emotional lives, offering a powerful means of processing complex feelings and achieving a sense of resolution. Ayn Rand, though living centuries after Aristotle, also recognized the power of art to reflect and shape human values. However, her aesthetic theory, which she termed romantic realism, differed significantly from Aristotle's classical perspective. While Aristotle focused on art's ability to imitate life as it is, Rand believed that art should present life as it could and should be. She argued that art should inspire individuals by portraying heroic characters who embody rational values and strive to achieve their full potential. For Rand, art should not shy away from depicting the ideal. It should present a vision of human greatness, encouraging individuals to strive for excellence in their own lives. Despite their differences in aesthetic theories, both Aristotle and Ayn Rand recognized the profound influence of art on human thought, emotion, and action. Aristotle saw art as a mirror reflecting the complexities of the human condition, offering catharsis and insight. Rand viewed art as a powerful tool for shaping values and inspiring individuals to embrace a life guided by reason and self-realization. Their contrasting perspectives highlight the enduring power of art to spark debate, challenge assumptions, and offer a rich tapestry of interpretations throughout history. Whether we seek solace in art's reflection of reality or find inspiration in its portrayal of the ideal, the legacy of these two philosophical giants continues to influence how we create, experience, and understand the world around us. The philosophical interplay between Aristotle and Ayn Rand, though separated by centuries, illuminates a timeless truth: the power of reason to illuminate the human experience. Aristotle, standing as a pillar of ancient Greek thought, laid the groundwork for Western philosophy, emphasizing logic, observation, and the pursuit of knowledge. Ayn Rand, navigating the complexities of the 20th century, found resonance in Aristotle's emphasis on reason, integrating it into her own distinctive philosophical system, Objectivism. This shared commitment to reason forms the bedrock of their enduring legacy. Both recognized reason as the defining characteristic of humanity, the tool by which we perceive the world, form judgments, and ultimately shape our destiny. Their works, spanning millennia, serve as a testament to the enduring power of rational inquiry to grapple with life's fundamental questions. Despite their shared emphasis on reason, Aristotle and Rand's philosophies diverged in significant ways, reflecting their distinct historical and cultural contexts. Aristotle, writing in the context of the Greek Polis, emphasized the importance of the community and the common good. His ethics, rooted in virtue, focused on the individual's role within society. Rand, on the other hand, writing in the midst of 20th century individualism and the rise of collectivist ideologies, championed individual rights, rational self-interest, and laissez-faire capitalism. Her philosophy, though influenced by Aristotle, offered a bold defense of individualism, emphasizing the moral imperative of pursuing one's own happiness. This divergence highlights the dynamic nature of philosophical inquiry, its ability to adapt and evolve in response to new challenges and changing social landscapes. The philosophical conversation between Aristotle and Ayn Rand transcends their specific historical contexts, offering enduring insights for navigating the complexities of human existence. Their works continue to spark debate and inspire reflection on fundamental questions about the nature of reality, the pursuit of knowledge, the meaning of a good life, and the role of the individual in society. Whether one finds themselves drawn to Aristotle's emphasis on virtue and the common good, or Rand's unwavering defense of individualism and rational self-interest, their ideas offer a rich tapestry of thought, challenging us to examine our own values and assumptions. In a world often characterized by uncertainty and rapid change, the timeless wisdom of Aristotle and the provocative insights of Ayn Rand provide a framework for understanding ourselves, our relationships, and the world around us. The philosophical dialogue sparked by Aristotle and Ayn Rand is far from over. Their ideas continue to resonate, challenge, and inspire, urging us to engage in the ongoing pursuit of truth, understanding, and a life worth living. By exploring their works, engaging with their arguments, and grappling with their insights, we participate in a timeless conversation, one that transcends disciplinary boundaries and speaks to the very core of the human experience. As we navigate the complexities of our own time, may the legacy of Aristotle and Ayn Rand serve as a reminder of the power of reason, the importance of individual reflection, and the enduring quest for a life guided by knowledge, purpose, and a commitment to living well.